I'm Brian McDermott, Community Chef, and I'm going to show you how to do a lovely family economy stew using minced beef from your local craft butcher. So the beauty about this recipe is it's lovely, wholesome, fresh food using some lovely simple meatballs that I'm going to show you how to make, and there's a selection of beautiful vegetables that are homegrown and local. So what we want to do is we want to sweat off, using a lovely big family casserole pot, is to sweat off about 2 tablespoons of rapeseed oil into the base of that. And we're going to add in some garlic, so it's 2 cloves of chopped garlic. And again, people talk about infusing flavour. Simply what that means is you're adding some flavour to the cooking oil. So we're adding some garlic initially, and there's it starting to cook. I'm going to add straight away into that some onion and some mushroom, which are chopped up and sliced. And you want loads of vegetables in this recipe. And you'll see here that I've got some chopped sweet potato, again for a lovely little bit of sweetness. I've got my carrot, okay, chopped up and diced up finely. Lovely sound going on there. And from the onion family, some leek, the green and white of the leek, and some chopped celery. You can put whatever vegetables you want into this, that's what's fantastic. Whatever's in season you can add into it. And then I'm going to add in just some of my normal rooster potatoes on this occasion. So they're diced up as well. Now we're going to sweat those off, nice and light, without colour. And look at that, that's homely looking already. Lovely big stew. And it's a quick, easy option for a family meal, is this stew. So, for the meat, and just before we add the meat, I'm going to add in some sprigs of thyme, and I'm going to take with my finger and thumb, rub off the leaves of that thyme, release them so there's immediate flavour coming out there. Another herb you could use in there is drop in a bay leaf, fantastic in here. But I have a rule with herbs which is no more than 2 to 3, because they'll battle against each other for flavour. 2 or 3 lovely simple herbs that can grow on Irish soil, to me, is a winner. And it's lovely seasoning that you're putting in there. And I'm going to lightly season that now with a little bit of cracked black pepper. Okay, and again, always remember that you can always add but you can never take away. Okay, so our minced beef is what we're going to use here, and this is just one of the lesser cuts or that minced beef. It's excellent for a stew like this, and if you want it as a quick alternative away from lamb for an Irish stew, it's absolutely perfect. So I'm going to add this into a bowl, okay? So you get your local butcher to do that for you, just to mince up that beef. I'm going to add to that 1 egg just to bind it together, and I'm going to add breadcrumb, and we're going to break all this up together, and we're going to get in and get making lovely little simple meatballs that will drop into our economy stew. Okay. So just break up that egg, the egg yolk, the breadcrumb, break up the minced beef. We're going to season that very, very lightly. And I'll tell you, another seasoning that I like with my minced beef is a little bit of nutmeg instead of salt. It's brilliant, particularly going into the autumn and the winter. It's great just for adding a little bit of warmth to your diet as well. So we're going to get in now, get a little bit friendly with our minced beef in our hands, and we're going to make simple, individual little balls that we're going to add to our stew, which are packed tight with flavour, coming from the beef naturally, bind it by the egg, and the softness of the breadcrumb is going to give these a lovely unique softness in terms of their texture. Okay, so now you want to get in with your fingers and your thumb, the palm of your hand, and I don't want you to squeeze these together. I just want you to form them very, very lightly like that into good 2-3 bite-sized pieces out of each one of them. We're going to dust those with a little bit of flour. We're going to drop them onto our chopping board, and when we have enough made, okay, so very gently, your little bit of flour, we're going to add them into our stew. So now we have our meatballs formed, we're just going to let them sit there for a few seconds. Stir your vegetables, and look at that, that started the cooking process. Isn't that lovely and hearty looking? And now this is what I love about this recipe, is just dropping in our simple little minced beef meatballs, and they're lovely and soft. Now be careful not to break them. Once I get those added in, I don't want to stir too much. What I want to do, and what I'm going to do, is I'm going to add in some stock, and I'm using chicken stock this time because I want the vegetable flavour to come through as well rather than beef stock. So we're going to pour that in nice and warm. And look at that, just enough to cover the vegetables, cover your minced beef, and we're going to slowly let that come back up to the boil and let it cook very, very gently. The meatballs are going to start to break up in their own natural way. Put a lid on that, let that cook for about 30 minutes, 40 minutes, and just watch it thicken up with the flour coming off the meatball, the starch coming out of the potato, the heartiness of the vegetables. That's just a lovely stew, and I just can't wait to get to the end of that to taste it. Okay, so I've let that cook out. The beef in there now, I know, has cooked, and I can smell the lovely heartiness of those vegetables. I mean, look, that's absolutely amazing. And that's just a one-pot wonder. You've got all your vitamins in there, you've got a balanced meal, your meat, you've got your sauce, you've got your protein in the meat, you've got your vegetables, your potatoes. It's excellent. So all I want to do with that now is just add some freshly chopped parsley, just at the very end of that. And that's another key thing about a light leafy herb like parsley, or like sorrel, coriander, or basil. Always add it just at the end to keep its colour and its vibrancy and flavour, the very, very end of cooking. There's our lovely parsley. Oh yeah, it almost, to me, just tastes of the country, the heartiness of the vegetables, the parsley, and that local meat from your local butcher. And that's it, that's ready to be served up in a lovely warm big bowl. What are you going to serve that with? Absolutely lovely, crunchy bit of bread, dry bread, duck it in there, sit down with a fork, that's all you need there, a lovely bit of bread, and look at that. To me, that is one of the heartiest stews you can put together. And it's lovely because I call this a family stew because everyone will eat this. So there you are, there you have it, my fantastic, family-friendly, eco-friendly, lovely economy stew from our local butcher meat and our lovely hearty vegetables, beautiful sauce, high intensity of flavour, vitamins, colour, and there's passion in that. I love it.